Hey, what's up, you guys? Eric and Jana with driverlineup.com, world's okayest steering wheel holders, and the four-wheelers here. I told you guys yesterday we were hoping to be able to sneak out off the yard tonight, which is Monday night. It didn't work out. So they had loads going out earlier today. We weren't ready though. We had to finish laundry. We had to get a few things done and just didn't get them done. So, or it was actually like one load earlier. And it would have been pick up an empty trailer and go get a live loaded here in Missouri somewhere. So it didn't sound like too bad of a load. We just weren't ready for it. So anyway, today I want to talk to you guys real quick about a couple things I've seen comments about and I haven't really made a video about. And that's two things that were very surprising to me when I first upgraded and went solo early last year. The first, and Jenna can testify to this, is how almost freakishly easy it was to upgrade and get my own truck.
Oh yeah,
like with no hand holding, really no instruction whatsoever.
Now go make money.
Yeah. When I first upgraded, I went through all the classes and everything. And as you guys know, if you don't know, you should subscribe to my channel, by the way. Subscribe to us because looking at analytics, and like 48% of our viewers are not subscribers. So please subscribe to the channel because you'll get the backstory on a lot of this stuff. But anyway, I went straight lease when I upgraded. Never went company. So I was company during training, but I went to lease when I upgraded. And they had, I was very blessed that they had a 2020 Freightliner Cascadia sitting there, brand spanking new. All the factory plastic all over and everything, brand spanking new truck. I was very happy about that. So I took the keys and I went out, looked at the truck, did a couple circles with it, and Jenna was at the house. She wasn't with Prime, but she was gonna be getting on the truck with me right away. So I called her, or did I FaceTime?
No, you sent me pictures.
Oh yeah, I sent her pictures and I'm like, hey, it's a brand new Freightliner Cascadia. It's like one of only two new trucks on a lot, and there's like 2 or 3 other drivers looking at the other trucks. So I was like, you know, I think we should move on this. It was a beautiful purple truck. The only thing I didn't like about it, I don't know if it was that I didn't like, but the thing that was odd is that it had racing,
Racing stripes. It looked like Crown Royal.
Looked like a Crown Royal, you know, Crown Royal, golden purple. Had gold racing stripes on the side, like a racing flag, and it was like, okay, but this is a governed truck, which is kind of weird. So I go back into Success Leasing, and I'm like, hey, you know, I love the truck. I wanna roll with it, and I had that truck like a few hours later. You know, for some reason I had it in my mind that this was going to be a few days process, and there was going to have to be reading contracts and getting attorneys involved, or, you know, not that crazy, but I thought there'd be a lot more involved in the process, and there wasn't. It was like, here's your truck. I got the keys, I signed the lease, and then there was no other hand holding whatsoever. In fact, I would have liked a little more hand holding because I wasn't sure what the hell to do, to be honest with you. I had a checklist, and I basically watched some YouTube videos to make sure I was doing everything right. So, you know, I go get everything off the checklist. The truck had like no fuel on it, which Success Leasing, come on. Having us pay almost $5,000 a month, you can't leave 10 gallons in a truck. Anyway, so go over to Plaza, get some fuel, and that was it. Like, it was, I don't know, it was just weird to me. I guess I just expected, you know, if a company's going to give you a $170,000 truck and tell you, okay, now you can pull millions of dollars of freight for us. I thought there would be a little more complexity, micromanagement, maybe Jenna's saying. But there was none. It was, here's your keys.
You're an adult.
Good luck. So, yeah, you're an adult. Go make money. That's what Jenna just said. That's right. And so that really surprised me of how easy and quick and how independent the whole process was. You know, go look at a truck. You like that truck? Here you go. Good luck. and that was pretty much it. The second issue, and sorry, Remy's trying to act like she's tough shit. She's not. But anyway, the second issue, and I saw this in the comments yesterday, was that because I'd been in TNT running team the whole time I was, my whole trucking career up to that point, I was really shocked to have to learn immediately how to run my logs as a solo truck. That was a challenge. I mean, it takes some freaking Jedi, if you don't know what you're doing, it takes so you got to use the force to figure that stuff out real fast too. You don't get like 2 or 3 weeks to just kind of feel your way through it. It's, you're running loads and you got to figure that stuff out. So that was really fun to try and learn very quickly with no room for error how to run my logs, making sure that I'm giving myself time to be at shippers and receivers, and making sure that I'm stopping at the right time and for the right amount of time. And you just don't have very much room for error running a solo truck. So as I said to someone who commented that yesterday, if you're, ask your trainer, because I didn't, and I had a good trainer. I mean, it was a good relationship. He was a good driver, and he taught me well the way that he knew that I needed to be trained. But we never really got that much into logs. I'm not faulting him for that. I think he always had the position of, you ask me what you want to ask me when you're ready to learn that. And sometimes he did offer up things he wanted to teach me, but you say what you want about him. We just never got into logs. We never did. And I paid a price for that. I mean, I was never late or anything. I didn't have any big issues, but it was a huge learning curve for me to go from running a team truck, which you don't really ever have to worry about logs at all, or your clock, to suddenly, oh crap, be in an oh crap situation where you really got to think through your hours before you even accept a load. Because as much as you think that sales and your dispatch is looking at your clock, a lot of times they ain't, man. A lot of times they'll propose loads that are literally impossible for you. I mean, you'll probably have time to get the load to its 90, but working the clock to get from a receiver that you're at to a washout to the 01 where you got to pick up, a lot of times they don't take that stuff into account. That's all on you, and you're fully responsible for it. So if I give you guys a piece of advice, when you're coming to Prime or you're in training right now, be sure to ask your trainer to teach you how to run your clock as a solo driver. Because, like right now, Jen and I, we have a team clock, and the truck always has hours, 24 hours a day, unless we get really low on our 70s. But just on a typical day when we've both got hours, 24 hours a day, by the time her 14 or her 11-hour driving's up, I've got a fresh 11 and a fresh 14. So, when you're in training, make sure that you know how to run your clock as a solo driver when you get out of training, which Jenna's never had to do. She's never had to run a solo clock.
No.
But she was on the truck with me when I ran a solo clock, so she got to experience that. But yeah, that's just a little tip. I think most trainers probably do a good job of that. Like I said, my trainer just, I spent most of my time making sure that I knew how to back the truck, that I knew how to run the business side of things. And
yeah, I had an unfair advantage, which was I knew how to do all the business side of things because I had already been doing that on the truck.
yeah, Jen had already been on my truck long before we decided that she should drive. So she had a head start on a lot of stuff. But like I said, my trainer, I just never went to him and said, hey man, what do I need to know about running a solo truck as far as my clock? I never asked him that. And like I said, you might say he probably should have volunteered that, maybe. But it's also incumbent upon me because I'm independent. I don't need someone to tell me what to do, and I want to pay the consequences of my mistakes. At the end of my videos, I say, make good decisions. Ask. Say, I need to make sure I know this. What do I need to know? Because that was a big shock to me going solo out of the gate, having to run my own clock. And I basically had to start learning how to do a solo clock on my own from day one. So anyway, we're excited. We're not excited that we're not on a load yet today. It's Monday. But what we are excited is we get to take luxury showers again tonight.
Yeah.
And sleep in the home bed. Although I'll probably call at like 2 or 3 in the morning and see if there's something going out early, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. It is what it is. Okay guys, well that's it. Those are my two tips addressing some questions that I've seen. I like those oddball questions that you don't see a lot of videos on, so keep those coming. Outside of that, man, be safe, make good decisions. As always, drive to thrive. We'll talk to you soon.